Good shot, kid. I think you got him. Good shot, kid. I think you got him.
Hello there, and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Today we're continuing on Let's Play, and this is episode 39. In today's episode, we are taking a look at the 50 snapshots here in San Fierro. They are the collectible of San Fierro. To, of course, take snapshots, we need a camera, and while there's a few locations around town, I find the most convenient one is here at Cranberry Station, just across the road from the garage. Come over to this kiosk, and there it is. I believe each camera comes with about 50 ammo, quote-unquote, which should allow you to take 50 pictures, which is enough for this, although I do recommend getting some reserve ammo, because these can be tricky. You'll see why in a minute. Anyways, our first sort of tag spot is the Panification Bridge. Simply zoom right in on the icon. So I should mention at this point, I don't quite know how this detects whether it's done or not. I find the best way to do this is to zoom in right on the icon. It doesn't look quite right, but that is the best way to do it to make it count. Snapshot number 2, as you just saw, is on the entrance to the San Fierro airport. That sort of cool plane graphic, which is all 3D and stuff, which looks really rather nice. Snapshot number 3 is actually inside the airport, and it is in between these two tankers, I guess. There's a heat-seeking rocket launcher spawn right there. That's probably the reason why this is a snapshot. I do recommend picking that up because it's a very, very good weapon indeed, and very useful for some of the missions here. Snapshot number 4 is at the top of the air traffic control tower on this sort of spire. Again, you can't really see the icon for this, so I don't quite get how it's registering. There's a few speedrun tactics, it's specific spots. It's really weird. Trying to recreate some of the things I'm doing in this video won't work, so I can only really show you the locations as opposed to the actual how to do this, which is a little bit weird, but unfortunately that's the way it goes. Snapshot number 5 is on a walkway in the Foster Valley area. I don't actually recall ever seeing this area before, so it's quite nice. It's actually pretty well detailed. I quite like it. Anyways, next up, snapshot number 6, bit of a weird one. It is on the second of these sort of silo sphere-shaped building tower things. I don't quite get what they're supposed to be. This entire area is a little bit sort of strange and lavish, but either way, it is on the second one, which you'll see in a minute because I had to consult the video for this one. There you go, snapshot number 6 done and dusted. Moving down, snapshot number 7 is on the transmission tower on top of the Foster Valley. It's sort of in like a news building organization, this giant sort of red and white tower. You can see the snapshot location there. I'm assuming you're supposed to get this probably from the road, but as you can see, I sort of went for a little bit of a weird way to do it. Snapshot number 8 is on the bridge between San Fierro and the Mount Chiliad sort of mountain going towards Angel Pine, a bridge we've seen before in this LP. Snapshot number 9 is on the tower at the country club, sort of next to it. You can actually see at night these sort of little sort of flashing stars, which does make this a lot easier. You'll see, there you go, they sort of flash at night, which is really useful. Unfortunately, they don't do that at any other time of day, and it's only sort of a specific time of night. Snapshot number 10 is above the tennis courts at that country club. Snapshot number 11 is on this sort of big white building with 4 sides to it. Not quite sure what this is supposed to be, but either way, the snapshot is right at the top of it, if you come at it from the way I've come at it at. Snapshot number 12 is above the cemetery, which is right next to it, so I'm assuming that white building might be of some religion significance. I'm not too sure. Either way, if you ever want to go explore that cemetery, it's actually kind of funny. There's graves of competition and all sorts in there. Snapshot number 13, yes, these are all directly in a row, is at the Hippie Shopper, which is a place we're going to see later on in this LP, but either way, if you don't know where it is, it's this big purple shop. Snapshot number 14 is above one of the many banners here in Hashbury. This is sort of the most westerly one, sort of welcoming you to Hashbury and saying how much of a positive place it is because it's full of hippies. Snapshot number 15 is at the construction site east of the gym and burger shop, just in front of the final build sign. Don't quite get why that's an area of importance for San Fierro, but it is. Snapshot number 16 is in Queens, sort of above this theatre type site. It's got Queens on the sign, and that's what you take a picture of, right next to the Gaydar station. Nice. Tag number 17, you have to come sort of to these baseball fields out near where Zero is. Zoom in right over there, and it's sort of in the direction of the Dorothy Mall. That's in the process of being built. An area which unfortunately isn't open to the player, because the mall in Vice City was actually pretty cool. Shame you can't get into it on this game. Snapshot number 18 is at the Vankhoff Park sign. Simply take a picture there. That's also where a spawn will come in place for import-export later on, which is pretty interesting. Snapshot number 19 is going behind that building, sort of towards the parking area of the Vankhoff Park Hotel, sort of halfway up the building. Snapshot number 19 done and dusted. You can go to the car park if you want a better angle of it. Snapshot number 20 is the City Hall, just right at the front of the City Hall. You can tell City Hall, it's got this sort of structure in the middle of it, and yeah, that's where City Hall is. I don't actually know, Las Venturas I don't think has a City Hall, although I could be wrong. Snapshot number 21, as we saw with the Vankhoff Hotel, is actually on the back of City Hall. Simply take a picture of sort of the top part of it, and you should be alright. Snapshot number 22 is at the Tough Nut Donuts, right in the middle of the donut, right in the hole, is where that snapshot will be. Snapshot number 23 is the Juniper Hill Supermarket, the Super Save, which is pretty cool. Again, unfortunately you can't go inside of Super Save, but it is there, and right at the top of it is snapshot number 23. I find these snapshots are sort of oddly high, considering they're supposed to be, you know, you're taking places of some of the pictures of some of the most beautiful places of San Fierro. Snapshot number 24 is above the chimney of an old factory in Kings. I think it's like an old factory sort of tram yard. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be. Snapshot number 25 is at the Oriental building. When you enter Chinatown, it's a big Oriental looking building, and that's where the snapshot is. Snapshot number 26 is at the entryway into Chinatown. You'll notice this rather nice fetching looking sign type object entranceway. That's where the snapshot is. Snapshot number 27 is at the Burger Shot in Juniper Hill. This is actually where you can get a bullet spawn, which is quite cool. Either way, much like with Tough Nut Donuts, a picture of the sign is what it wants. There's also a pickup of flowers, if you want some flowers to beat people to death with. Snapshot number 28 is at the second rung of the Gant Bridge. That's very important. You can take a picture of this while it is shut off from the public, by the way. And snapshot number 29 is of the shipmast, which we saw in one of the triad missions. You can do both of them from right over here, which is nice. You could probably do both of them from standing in the same location if you really wanted to. Snapshot number 30 is above the USS Numbnuts, which is a submarine docks here in the San Fierro Bay. Simply take a picture of that, and yeah, there you go. The Numbnuts, interesting name for a submarine. Snapshot number 31 is the entranceway into Pier 69, sort of the sign that says Pier 69. That's what you're taking a picture of. Probably not supposed to do it from that angle, but that seemed like the most logical way to do it from, because snapshot 32 is just down the road. It is the amphibious assault sort of stone structure, which is really weird. If you actually look at it on a map, it's weirdly tacked on to that area. You can sort of see it was made as an entire sort of course for the player to go through, as opposed to being a natural land formation. Snapshot number 33 is at the first rung of the Garver Bridge, so the suspension closest to you, and then the next snapshot is actually the third rung of the Garver Bridge from the second suspension, which you can do from all the way over here. Maybe it's worth having the actual, third rung, I should say, the top one. So you're taking a picture of the first one for the first suspension, and then the third one for the second suspension. Snapshot 35 is at the clock tower on this sort of riverside official looking building, not quite sure what it's supposed to be. Snapshot number 36 is above the hotel where we do valet at. So that's nice. Right at the top, sort of this spire transmission tower is what you are taking a picture of. You can actually get up the hotel opposite and take a picture of it from that way if you so desire. Snapshot number 37 is halfway up an office style building here in the financial district. Pretty straightforward, quite a nice looking building once again. Snapshot number 38 is on the entrance of a tunnel heading into Juniper Hill, the sort of part of the city above it, and then below you can go straight underneath it, which is actually pretty darn cool. This is why I like Fierro a lot. Snapshot number 39 is up the windy road. Take a picture of it from the bottom, and if you turn around you can get snapshot number 40, which is of this sort of baseball style statue. I'm assuming it's supposed to be some famous player. Yeah, I guess. Either way, it's there. I assume you're supposed to take a picture of it from the front, but you can do so from behind. Snapshot number 41 is inside the Zombotech building. It's sort of this big DNA statue they've got going on right at the top of it. Sort of take a picture about halfway through it, I believe it is. Yeah, that should be it. There we go. Snapshot number 42 is on top of a big building in Dorothy. That's the best way to describe it, really. It's sort of near these three skyscrapers, the Fierro Center, I believe it's called by official game lore. It's sort of this tall, white skyscraper looking building. As you can see there, you sort of take a picture of the sky and eventually it will come through. Snapshot number 43, this actually took quite a while to get working. It's in the middle of the Fierro Center, in between the north and east skyscrapers, so ignore the one to the southwest. You just want sort of the ones to the north and the east. Snapshot number 44 is on a tower in Kings, pretty straightforward, sort of another historic looking building with some shops underneath it, which is a little bit strange. Snapshot number 45 is on the Wrecking Ball crane in Dorothy at the construction site, which we of course got rid of during deconstruction. So if you point your camera right up towards there, you'll get it. I think the snapshot might even be in the sort of cabin area, and interestingly enough you can actually take control of said wrecking ball if you so desire. Snapshot number 46 is at the Cranberry Station, just above where the trains go through, this sort of glass enclosed area, which is quite cool. Snapshot number 47 is above some silos at Shady Industries, which is a cool name. As you can see, the snapshot right there, hard one to miss really, and there's a shotgun pickup if you desire such an item. Snapshot number 48 is above a light pole in Easter Basin. I'm not quite sure if that's what it's supposed to be, but that's what I managed to make it be. Maybe it's supposed to be of that warehouse where the NLG 500 challenge is, but that's where I got it to register in-game. Snapshot number 49 is, well, OK Zoomer. As you can see, just the Zoomer gas station sign right there. And finally, snapshot number 50 is a military boat docked with the number 69 written on it. Can you think of any better way to end this madness? And as you can see, there's a little thing there. So, if you complete all of these snapshots, you get to $100,000, which is very useful for us in this current stage of the game because we have zero money. And you also get weapons back at the garage in the same way that we got weapons for 100 tags. Those weapons are, as we park our bike into here, you get grenades, a shotgun, a sniper rifle, and the micro Uzi. Not the most interesting group of weapons, but the sniper rifle is pretty useful, and I guess the SMG is as well. Grenades, not so much, and yeah, the shotgun you've probably upgraded to better weapons by this point in the game. Anyways, that is it for all the snapshots. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time, we are going to be taking a look at the pimping side mission, so join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Speeding all around. The naked 47 got the power in his bell to move any mother that gets in my way. Just another power machine on the freeway. Riding with me is my MC homeboy. Knowing the rules ain't part of his program. Finding the right way around this map might be pretty hard cause he's fucked on crack. G, Grand Theft Auto.